Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you all to E-Talk of Envisage 2020, hosted by Institution Innovation Council, Technomain Salt Lake.
I am Abhirup Boshak, your host for the day, accompanied by my co-host Rishita Banik. E-Talk is an exclusive platform where we invite eminent personalities from different walks of life to share their exciting stories and take us on a journey of entrepreneurship.
Today's esteemed guest is a very special person. He is a role model to all, and I personally admire him. Gautham Pasupuleti, the CEO and Managing Director at Biodesign Innovation Lab, is an inspiration to all his dedicated work in the field of biotechnology, ophthalmology, optics, and healthcare. He is the foundation of Corneal X and has been featured in Forbes India for his latest innovation, RespirAID. Please give a huge round of applause for Gautham Pasupuleti. Mr. Pasupuleti, I hope you are in good health.
Yes, thank you very much for the introduction.
That's great to hear, sir. Without further ado, let's get started with the session.
Sure.
Sir, would you like to tell us which city you like more, Chennai or Bangalore?
It's I grew up in Chennai, and right now I'm working out of Bangalore. But I would say Chennai is where I have learned a lot of things in the early days during my college and doing research from the initial days. And coming to Bangalore, I have learned the other side of the working, which is entrepreneurship and things that have to do more with the, you learn things and you try to implement it by yourself and you take care of everything, be it from accounting to developing some products which are meeting the customer's requirement. So I would, it's a difficult question to answer, but I would say both cities are my favorite. Bangalore, in some of the aspects, it's more relevant for, I like the climate, the people, and Chennai is my hometown. Like now I've completely moved to Bangalore, but both are like both eyes. Yeah.
That was an amazing answer. I will now hand over the mic to my co-host Abhirup.
Thank you, Rishita. So we are elated to have you. Would you like to tell us more about your journey as an engineering student and being a researcher at MIT and finally laying the foundation stone of Biodesign Innovation Lab?
Sure. So to talk about my journey and how I started during 2014 when I was doing my final year, 2013 and 14 during I was doing my final year in instrumentation control. I had been fascinated with the idea of how we could use some of the technologies and make some innovation, not only in healthcare, but across different fields. So I got an internship at, IIT Research Park in Madras, right? So I got an internship there where I was working for a company and trying to figure out a particular solution that was unmet need. So we went to all the hospitals and we tried to figure out some of the need statements, some of the problem statements that hospitals are, facing day to day. And that's how it started. So for me, it started when I got involved with a few companies who were already doing some innovations in IIT Research Park. And my brother was also one of the startup co-founder in IIT Research Park in Madras. So then I got an opportunity to work with MIT Media Labs India initiatives, where part of the innovations was to, from scratch, find out the problems in hospitals in Mumbai. So I was at Mumbai during my final year. It was part of my research program where I had to find certain problems in hospitals across Mumbai, which is Sion Hospital, Kokilaben Dirga Hospital, where we went to these hospitals, find out what are the unmet clinical need, some of the problems. So then we found the problem statement, designed solutions for that, and understood the whole process of from the problem statement to developing a product, launching into product. So that's how it started. And as an engineer, the college has helped with the curriculum aspects and the basic stuff. But once I started working with some companies as an intern, research intern, there are a lot of things that I have learned, and as part of that, I have also been on my own, which I was not funded by any companies, and I had to do multiple jobs at the same time. At the same time, I was also doing some of the research work and some of the product development work. So there are a lot of things that was going on, and I'm glad that that kind of experience allowed me to push myself out of the comfort zone and develop something that is right now, which we are proud of. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That was very motivating. I know many young entrepreneurs will relate to this journey. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to remind you that this is eTalk with Abhiroop and Rishita. And we have with us Mr. Gautham Pasupuleti. Now I'd like to hand over the mic to Rishita.
Thank you, Ophiru. We have had an overwhelming response from the audience who were very eager to ask you questions research in biotechnology and biomedicine. But you initially started as a student of the Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering. When did you realize your passion in the field of bio entrepreneurship?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. It all started when we were actually visiting some of the hospitals during my third year college internship. Like I said, I was doing a research internship at my own brother's company, and I got the opportunity to visit some of the hospitals in Chennai, where I had witnessed some of the emergency care. Patients were being resuscitated, patients were being given CPR. I saw some of the patients die in front of me. I thought someone could help the patients because when you go to a hospital and you see a situation, you wanted to do something, and you find a lot of the gaps and unmet needs, and something you can use your own expertise and design solutions that meets those problems. For example, you go to hospitals. You go to hospitals and you visit some hundreds of hospitals across India, and you obviously get a lot of insights on what's happening in the system. What are the pain points? So the same thing happened to me. As part of my curriculum, we had this biomedical engineering, biomedical instrumentation. It's part of biomedical engineering, and I got to learn a lot of things about ventilators and sensors and stuff like that in the healthcare and technology and medical devices. In addition to this, outside of the spectrum of outside of the scope of curriculum, I had I had got my passion towards healthcare technology, biomedical engineering, medical devices uh, uh, when I got involved with my brother, who was working at HTIC and Wilgrow, and he had his own startup, and I was working with him and helping with him with the clinical need statement, clinical immersions, finding out the product which has to be developed the next for the unmet clinical need, and also going through the process of whole idea to market phase of design thinking process. And I also got an opportunity to work with MIT Media Lab, like I said, India Initiative. So some of the MIT students from Boston have come to India, and they have started this design and innovation workshops. And I also got involved with the whole community who are all like-minded. So one of the things that I got to know is when you go and work with some communities who are all like-minded, and you are working on workshops and hackathons, and you're working something very intensive for for a six days, 7 days, 2 weeks period of time, and you want to make sure that if you could do something in a very specific short period of time for a big problem that nobody has ever solved, or a huge problem for a country or for the world, and you are sure that the confidence level that you get, that you are able to do something for a long term, can also be exponentially increased. So that was the confidence that you build during I have experienced myself in the third year, fourth year. The projects that I have worked has incredibly tremendously helped me in pushing further for my career and pursuing innovation and healthcare technology, which will have a huge impact on society. So that's how it started. So I went to Mumbai, and I design and develop products which are used at hospitals in Sion and Kokila in the River Hospital as part of my research internship. And I got an offer as a product manager from a corporate in Chennai, which I moved back and I worked there for some time. And then I got back to startups where I started my own company, Cornealex, and I was working on multiple research projects. I was working with my brother. And I moved to Boston for quite some time, working with MIT Media Lab, India Initiative, and working on some of the research that I was doing in ophthalmology, publishing the papers. And I was also doing some of the work in AI applied in cancer, early cancer detection and ophthalmology related applications like corneal diseases, retinal diseases. Then I moved back from Boston to, I rejected my offer for a job in Boston. I moved back to Bangalore. I started this own company along with my brother, which is now Biodesign Innovation Labs. We started this company, Biodesign Innovation Labs, in 2017. It develops respiratory assist devices, portable ventilators, and we are right now, using those products that we have developed 3 years back. Started working on this product long time back, and now it's right now for the use of COVID patients, and we're trying to see how we could distribute it across India and globally. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Gautham Pasupuleti, for your insightful words. And with that, we have come to the end of the session. But before that, we have a very special request. Mr. Pasupuleti, you are a global name in the field of innovation and entrepreneurship. Similarly, Envisage 2020 is an attempt to incorporate a global outlook. Thus, we would request you to please address our audience.
I would suggest do things that will have a huge impact on the society, and find out the big problem that is something, a burden to everyday life that people are facing, and get yourself involved with communities which are trying to solve problems, and build solutions that are solving for tomorrow's problems and today's problems. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. This is eTalk by Envisage 2020. See you in the next session.